A few weeks ago, during winter break, I was bored one night in my room. I heard people talking about students who were good with technology using something called Tor to access the dark web. Curiosity got the best of me, so one night I decided to check it out. I searched online and downloaded Tor. Nervously, I entered the secret network. I felt excited and a bit scared as I clicked on different links. At first, the sites just had a bunch of code and usernames, nothing too weird. But by chance, I found a hidden forum that seemed more mysterious and scary. People were talking openly about doing bad things online, like hacking into computers, taking money from bank accounts, and selling stolen information and ID on a secret market. They were even doing really illegal stuff that I won't talk about. I knew I should have left the website right away, but something made me stay. I was curious about the hidden side of the internet. Even though I knew it wasn't a good idea, I made a secret account on the forum. I acted like I was new and wanted to learn about the dark web. Surprisingly, the experienced members there were happy to help me. Looking back, I can see they were trying to get me involved, but back then, I felt flattered by their friendliness. My email got filled with messages from experienced users. They were excited to share links to secret websites where illegal stuff happens, harmful computer programs, and guides on how to hide online activities. One person even said they could help me get fake IDs and passports. I was surprised at how generous they were, even though what they were suggesting was against the law. Without thinking, I started downloading files and clicking on links that I probably shouldn't have. I was drawn in by the idea of knowing forbidden things. Getting all this inside information made me feel like I was part of a special secret group. The experienced users on the dark web were really friendly and eager to teach me. I got so caught up in it all that I went deeper into everything they were showing me. It was thrilling and made me feel like I belonged to something, even though it was risky. I didn't realize how risky and exposed I was being because of my lack of experience. After a few weeks, strange things started to happen in my regular online life, not on the private Tor network. Someone tried to log into my social media accounts without my permission, and I started getting emails from strange places I never signed up for. It felt like someone was watching me from the shadows. Pictures disappeared from my phone that I didn't delete. I had stirred up trouble, and now there were unknown forces keeping an eye on me. I started to believe that my true identity was in danger because of my careless actions on the dark web. Even though I did everything to make sure my computer was safe and secure, I started feeling like someone was watching me online. It got so creepy that I decided to stop using the internet completely. But that wasn't as easy as it sounds. A few days later, I found a mysterious envelope outside my dorm room. When I opened it, there was a scary message inside. "We know who you are, and we'll be keeping a close eye on you." I felt really scared. I did something risky because I was too curious, and now unknown people have my name, where I am, and maybe more. The note suggested it wasn't just a joke or an empty threat. It seemed like someone was watching and following me online, and maybe in real life too. But I couldn't figure out who they were. For several weeks, I felt really scared and anxious. I was on edge, worrying about strange things happening both on the internet and in real life. I was afraid someone might be watching me, even though it was unlikely that a group of cybercriminals would show up in person. The idea that my personal information was out there and being tracked by powerful hidden forces made me constantly uneasy. I was always checking behind me and didn't trust anyone. I could hardly sleep. In the end, nothing directly bad happened after I received that creepy anonymous letter. No more strange messages or clear incidents I could link to it. Eventually, the intense fear lessened, but I still felt uneasy. Creepy feeling of unseen eyes watching me from the shadows stuck around. Then, something surprising happened. One evening, while I was looking at my social media, I got a friend request from someone I didn't know. Profile picture was blurry, and the posts on their page were random. I was curious, so I hesitated but eventually accepted the request. Shortly after, I got a message from this mysterious friend saying we need to talk. My heart raced as I tried to figure out who they were and how they were linked to the dark web situation I found myself in. Turns out, this person claimed to be a whistleblower from the same online group I had stumbled upon. They had been keeping a close eye on what I was doing. As we talked, the person I didn't know showed me proof that the dark web forum was actually a cover for a high-tech group of cybercriminals. These criminals targeted people who didn't suspect anything. The so-called experienced users who welcomed me were actually the ones running the illegal activities. I got really scared and needed help, so I did what the stranger suggested to protect my online stuff and completely stop being involved with the dark web. The person who told me all this said that the mysterious envelope was just a trick by the cybercriminals to scare me even more. They were trying to make sure I stayed quiet and did what they wanted for their evil plans. In the weeks that came after, I teamed up with a person I didn't know to help them take down a group of cybercriminals. I shared all the information I had to assist in their fight. Together, we revealed the illegal activities, which led to arrests and the shutting down of the dark web forum. This surprising turn of events changed me from a victim to someone unintentionally helping in the battle against cybercrime. Even though the immediate danger was over, the experience had a big impact on me. I learned how important it is to think about the consequences of what you do online. Getting involved in forbidden things almost cost me a lot, but the unexpected twist not only saved me, but also helped do something good for everyone. The dark web, with all its hidden stuff, taught me a lesson that I'll remember for my whole life. One night, I was just casually looking through social media and clicking on random links. I ended up reading about the dark web and some supposedly true and strange stories. When you're bored, you can end up exploring weird parts of the internet. That's when I found this really strange post that caught my eye. Someone took a photo of my front door and wrote back where I belong under it. I'm not superstitious, so I thought it was just someone trying to scare me. The next day, I told my friends about it, and we laughed, guessing it could be hidden cameras or creepy stalkers. In today's tech world, a few clicks can reveal a lot about someone. I said it's likely just some computer program using my internet and Google Maps to figure it out. People made fun of me because I didn't believe in supernatural stuff, but I didn't really care. I didn't think anyone would try to harm me. However, as the night went on, I started feeling like someone was watching me. It made me uncomfortable. Shadows looked weird, and every creak in the floor sounded like a whisper. It sounds silly, right? I went to a website, and it showed a page I didn't recognize. The title had strange numbers and letters. The page displayed a live video of my living room where I was sitting with my laptop. I was shocked to see myself from behind. I thought it was a prank using fancy technology. That's really strange, I said. The camera moved around the room and I realized it was positioned to match a mirror on the wall. My heart started beating fast. I walked up to the mirror to check if my face was showing on the live stream from my laptop, but the website was showing an error. I tried refreshing it and clicking the link from the email, but nothing worked. It was like the website never existed. I looked in the mirror again, but there was no camera in sight. Feeling tired after hanging out with friends and having a few drinks, I convinced myself I was just being paranoid and went to bed. Days went by, and I tried to forget about it. Then, one night, while getting water during my sleep, I looked at the mirror again. My reflection looked normal, but I noticed something strange in the background, a shadow or figure peeking out. I quickly turned around. My heart was pounding fast, but there was nothing there. I felt uneasy again. I need to calm down, I told myself. It's just my imagination. I thought the stress, not enough sleep, and suggestions from my mind were to blame. But the next morning, I found my favorite mug broken on the kitchen floor, and I couldn't shake the feeling that someone had been in my house. Even though I believe in facts and logic, when I heard the kitchen door creak open the next night, I didn't think about ghosts or anything like that. I thought it might be an intruder. I tried turning on the light, but it didn't work, and it was really dark. So I grabbed my baseball bat and phone, using its flashlight to figure out what was going on. In my living room, I was using a flashlight and looking around. Suddenly, I saw something strange. The mirror was leaning against the wall, and there were wires hanging out of it. I felt a mix of anger and fear because it seemed like someone was playing a trick on me, and they were in my house right then. I shouted, "Who's in my house?" and turned towards the kitchen. But as I did that, a bright light came on and blinded me. Everything became blurry, and then I woke up in my bed with my heart pounding. My bedroom looked normal. I wondered if it was all just a dream, a really strange and vivid dream. I picked up my phone to see what time it was when I saw a message pop up. It was an email from someone I didn't know. I felt nervous as I opened it. Inside, there was a picture that looked a lot like the one that scared me before. It was my front door, but this time it was nighttime. The message said, "Sleep well, goodbye for now." My hands were shaking as I looked around the room, half expecting someone to appear. But I was alone. I tried to figure out who sent the email by checking the email address on my laptop, but it was just a bunch of random letters and numbers that I couldn't trace. I got really scared. It wasn't a joke. Someone was invading my privacy, and I didn't know who or why. I went back to the living room and checked the mirror. It was back on the wall where it usually is. I got so worried that I grabbed the mirror and accidentally broke it on the floor. I ended up standing on the broken pieces with my bare feet, feeling like I was losing my mind. To feel safer, I locked the front door and closed the curtains, sitting in the dimly lit living room. I thought about going to the police, but I didn't know what to say to them. The time passed slowly, and as it got darker outside, I started feeling more and more paranoid. The logical explanations for what was happening didn't make sense anymore. I began to wonder if someone was deliberately trying to scare me. Staring at my laptop's camera, I had a weird feeling like someone was watching me. So, I shut the laptop and went back to bed. I figured if they wanted to hurt me, they would have already. Tired from the strange situation, I closed my eyes and just accepted whatever was going to happen. The surprising part happened the next day when I heard a knock on my front door. It startled me, and I stumbled out of bed to see who it was. When I opened the door, I felt my heart drop. It was someone I hadn't seen in years, my long-lost twin sibling, Alex. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Alex and I hadn't talked for a long time because of a big fight in our family. We had both gone our own ways, and things had only gotten worse between us over time. But now there they were, looking at me with a mix of guilt and uncertainty.
"Hey, can we talk?"
Alex said nervously. Feeling confused and cautious, I let them come in. We sat in the living room with a broken mirror behind us, making our unexpected meeting feel even more awkward. Alex explained that they were going through some tough personal stuff and wanted a chance to reconnect with me. As we chatted, I started to understand what was going on. Alex admitted to being behind all the weird things happening in my life. The strange picture of my front door, the live videos, and the creepy emails. It turns out, they were just trying to get my attention and make me face them. I was confused and asked, "Why did you do all this?" Alex said they felt bad about how we had drifted apart and wanted to fix things between us. Crazy plan was their way of trying to close the gap that had grown between us over the years.
"I didn't know any other way to make you listen."
Alex said, looking sorry. At first, I was really mad because Alex invaded my privacy. But when I saw how sincere Alex was, my anger went away. We spent the rest of the day talking, sharing stories, and fixing the bond between us. In the end, the surprise wasn't something spooky or mysterious. It was just a complicated and imperfect connection between people trying to make up. Life has a way of bringing unexpected moments, and in the middle of all the fear and confusion, we found a chance to heal and understand each other better. I messed up big time. I should have listened to my instincts telling me not to click that link. It all started when I was up late one night, feeling bored and just browsing the regular internet. I came across some posts talking about the dark web, a secret network of sites you can only access with special software. I got a little curious, I heard rumors about the dark web having illegal and messed up stuff, but a part of me thought it might just be stories to scare people. So, I ended up downloading this Tor browser thing and started exploring the dark web. At first, it was kind of boring. The pages looked basic, like how the whole internet used to be in the 90s. I clicked through random sites and forums, and nothing too crazy happened. But then, I stumbled upon this one site that made my stomach turn. The title said Live Interrogation. The page had a video player and chat box. I knew I should have closed it immediately, but I couldn't look away. The video showed a dark basement. Two big guys in ski masks were dragging a scared girl. They chained her up, tore her shirt, and started hitting her with a wicked whip. I was stuck watching in horror. The chat box was filled with awful comments, telling them which part of her body to hurt next. Her screams were loud through my speakers, but those guys just kept going. They said they would keep her alive for another session tomorrow. I logged off feeling sick. That poor woman was being kept captive for the entertainment of sick people on the dark web. A few days later, I couldn't stop thinking about catching those bad people. I stayed up all night looking at the hidden parts of the internet, watching videos to find clues. Eventually, I noticed a few mistakes in the videos, like sounds from the street and quick views of different places. I used these clues to figure out which city they might be in. I used all my money to buy a plane ticket and flew to that city, determined to find and rescue the woman in the videos. When I got there, I went straight to the area that looked like the one in the videos. It was a rough neighborhood with old, empty factories and buildings. I searched desperately for anything that seemed familiar. On the second day, as the sun was setting, I found a creepy, isolated warehouse. There was a basement window with broken glass. I approached carefully, looked inside, and saw a person tied up and not moving, chained to the far wall. I found a wobbly board and opened it to get inside a place. There was a person there, but she didn't move when I got close. My heart sank because I realized it was the woman. She wasn't moving, felt really cold, and looked like she had been hurt really badly. I got really angry and promised to make the people who did this face the consequences. I called the police to tell them what I found. While I was on the phone, the door of the building opened behind me. I turned around and saw a guy wearing a mask. He grabbed me, covered my face with a rag that had some strong-smelling stuff on it. I passed out and then realized I fell into their trap. Soon, my screams would be shared on the dark web for people who enjoy watching scary things. I woke up in a cold basement, tied down. My shirt was torn, and there was a man wearing a mask, looking at me with a whip in his hand. Another person had a camera ready. They said a lot of people were waiting to watch what was happening to me. The first hit of the whip hurt my back, and I could only hope that the police would find me soon. But I had a feeling that no one was coming to save me. The dark web always wants more, and if you're foolish enough to dig into its secrets, you might become its next victim. And that's the scary truth. Being too curious led me to places I shouldn't have gone. You know the saying, ignorance is bliss. Well, sometimes it's true. The dark hides things that are really scary once you find them. Some secrets should have stayed hidden where no one could see them. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, something unexpected happened. While I was getting punished again, the people wearing masks suddenly stopped. I was confused, looking at each of them to figure out what was going on. Then I heard it, footsteps coming from behind me. In the dark and shadowy basement, a lady dressed in black suddenly appeared. She wasn't a cop or someone being harmed. She looked determined. The guys wearing masks, who were up to no good, stopped what they were doing for a moment. She confidently told them to let me go. And surprisingly, they did exactly as she said. The lady then came closer, showed a badge. Turns out she was a secret agent. While untying me, she explained they had been following these bad guys for a long time. They purposely let me fall into their trap, thinking it would lead them to the heart of the nasty things happening on the dark web. As I tried to understand what had just happened, the agent explained everything to me. He told me about the dark web, which is a secret and messed up online network. The guys we encountered were only a small part of a big and organized group of criminals. The live videos and torture weren't just for sick enjoyment, but also a way to get more people involved in the dark web's bad stuff. We collected proof from the place and went back up to the regular world. The police, who the undercover agent had called, quickly came to the area. They caught the masked men, and the dark web's bad activities in that city got a big hit. After everything happened, the secret agent thanked me for unintentionally helping them a lot. It turned out that my determined effort to rescue a woman led the police right to the center of the bad stuff on the dark web in our city. But it wasn't a happy ending. The lady I wanted to save didn't make it, and the scary memories of that cold basement stuck with me. Even though I was lucky to get out alive, the dark web left its mark on me, both physically and emotionally. As time went by, I thought about how dangerous it is to be too curious. The dark web has things you can't forget once you've seen them, and going there is like walking into danger. The surprising turn in my story reminded me that even in really bad places, there are people trying to do good. But the scary things I saw in that basement will always stay with me, a warning for anyone thinking about going where darkness lives.